Hello everyone. So in this video we are going to configure another Cisco packet tracer lab, and this lab is configured the initial switch settings, and this one is a simple topology we are going to set up, and objectives, we have the total 5 parts that need to configure. If we go to the first part, so this one is just verify the default switch configurations. For this purpose we need to answer some questions that starts from part number 2. So in the step 2, enter the show running config and answer the following questions. So we will go to the switch. This one is our topology. I'm just going to set up as a new user. Okay, so this topology, we need to complete 72 points and 12 is already completed, so we will continue with the next one. And this one is a word file. We are going to answer this. So on the switch we need to run the running config command and answer this question. The first one is how many fast Ethernet interfaces does the switch have? Go to the switch. This one is the switch S1, and in the CLA tab, so first we need to type the enable command to go into the enable mode, and then run the show running config and hit the enter. So we need to count the fast Ethernet switches interfaces. For this purpose, just type the space bar, so you will see the more configurations, and go up. So these interfaces are starting from the 0/1 and it's going up to 0/24. So the answer will be 24. So it's 24. The next one is how many gigabit Ethernet interfaces, and if we go back, so this switch has only 2 interfaces that are gigabit, so the answer will be 2. Okay, the next is what is the range values shown for the VTA lines. For this, go back to the switch, and if we go down, so we can check that these are the VTA lines. So it starts from 0 and it's going up to 15. So the answer of this question will be 15. It's 15. Okay, which command will display the current content of the non-volatile random access memory, NVRAM? To check the NVRAM, we have to run the command that is show startup config. So we don't have any configuration, so show startup config will show the configuration in the NVRAM, and show running config will be show the configuration in the RAM. So for this it will be the show startup config. Okay, the next one, part 2, we need to configure the switch settings. The first part, step 1, we have to configure the switch hostname to the S1. Okay, go to the switch. Okay, so we are here in the part 2. So in the part 2, assign the name to the switch. So go to the switch S1. Now go to the configure mode, and the command is hostname. The name of the switch, that must be the S1. Okay, now we see the default name was the switch, and now it's changed to the switch S1. Okay, the step number 2. Step number 2, we need to secure the console line. For this we have to go into the console line 0. So each switch by default have the line 0. We will go into the line console 0, and then we will issue the password command, and this one is the actual password that will be set. And for working this password we have to issue another command, that is login. Okay, now go to the switch, line console 0, password, let me in, and login. Okay, our password is set for the console 0. This one is complete. Okay, the question is why login command is required. So in order for the password checking process to work, we require the both commands to working. Okay, so these two commands are actually bound with each other. So to working this command, this password, we require this login command as well. Okay, now step number 3, verify that console access is secure. For this purpose we will go back, so just type the exit and exit. Now we are on the main screen. If we hit enter, it is asking for the password. This password is a console password we just set up in the step number 2. So just type the password, let me in, and we are in the switch. Okay, so we just verify. The next one is we need to set up the console password. We need to set up the enable password. Okay, go to the switch, configure terminal, so enable password C1 $, and it's 0. Hit enter, exit. The password is set to verify. Just go back, hit enter. Now the first we need to type the console password, that was let me in. Now if we type the enable command, we have to type this password, this enable password we just set up, C1 $C0, C1 $C0. Okay, let me try one more time. C1 $C0. Okay, we just misspell, so it is C1 $0, C1 $0. Okay, we are in. Now let me retype the correct password. So it's enable password C1 $C0. Here we go. Okay, now we verify the enable password is working. Okay, the questions. The first password is for the console line, and the second password is for the enable password. And to verify the configuration, we can run the command show running configuration. We can check this, show running configure. Okay, we see the enable password, and here we can see the console password. Okay, the next step number 6, encrypt the password to secure the access. Okay, for this purpose we first set up the enable password. Now the enable secret is used to secure the secret password. So this is encrypted password. Go to the switch, configure terminal, enable secret, the password, it's a secret. Okay, now this secret will be overwrite the previous password, so now this password will be work. Yeah, so you can see the note, so this secret will be override the simple password. Okay, verify the secret, uh, go back, show run config. Now we can verify, so this secret password is encrypted. Now the question is, what is display for the enable secret password? So we can copy this password to answer the question, this one. Okay, the next one. Okay, why the enable secret password displayed differently from what we configured before? Because this secret is encrypted, so we see the encrypted password, not the plain text. This one is the plain text password, this one is encrypted, so we cannot guess this. Step number 8, encrypt the enable and the console passwords. Okay, now to encrypt this plain text password, we can run the command service password encryption in the configuration mode. Service password encryption, hit the enter, and we can verify if we run the command show run again, and now we can see the enable password is also encrypted. Okay, part number 3, configure the banner of the day, MOTD. Okay, so this one is a banner we need to configure. For this, just go back to the configure mode, and the command will be the banner MOTD, then the actual message is a secure system, authorized access only, hit that. Okay, our banner is configured. Okay, when banner will be displayed? Okay, so this banner will be displayed when someone enters the switch through the console board. We can check this one. Okay, now this one is the banner that we just set up. Okay, the part number 4 is save the configuration file to the NVRAM. For this purpose, we have to run the command copy run configuration. The configuration are in the RAM to the startup configuration, the configuration in the NVRAM. So go to the switch, CLI mode. We need to type the password. The first password is the console password, line console 0. Okay, so line console 0 password is this one. Okay, now enable. Now it's the enable secret password, this one. Okay, we are in the switch. Okay, the part number 4 is to save the configuration in the NVRAM. So we will run the command copy running configuration, the configuration in the RAM, or the current configuration to the NVRAM startup config, and hit the enter. And it's asking the destination file name, so we will go with the default options and hit the enter. Now our configuration are the same. Okay, what is the shortest abbreviation of this copy running config to startup config? So the shortest version is copy run to start. We can use this one, or we can use the WR, write memory. So these are the two short versions, WR and copy run start. So these two commands are the alternate commands of this long command. Okay, which command will display the contents of the NVRAM? Okay, so NVRAM, that are the startup configuration, so the command will be show startup config. So these startup configuration are the configuration that will be remain even we restart our switch or the device. Okay, so we need to verify that if the changes are entered in the NVRAM. So we can check, like we configure the secret password, we configure the host name, so these are now in the startup configure. Now the part number 5 is configure the switch S2. Now go to the switch S2. The first thing is to set up the host name. So enable configure terminal host name S2. Okay, the B part is to configure the console password. So line console 0 password, let me in, and we need to issue the command login and exit. Now configure the enable password and the secret password. So go to the switch S2 again, enable password C1 $C0, and enable secret password, it's a secret. Okay, the D part, we need to configure the banner. Okay, to configure the banner, the command will be banner MOTD. This is a secure device. Okay, our banner is set up. Now the part E, encrypt the plain text message passwords. For this purpose we will run the command service password encryption, this one. Ensure the configuration are correct and save the configuration. Okay, to save the configuration, the command is WR, the shortest version, or we can use the copy running config to startup config. Yeah, here we go. Okay, now this one is completed. If we check the results, and congratulations, this activity is complete. And if we check the assessment items, so all points are clear.